Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video I'll be showing you how to make a login screen inside of Python using only the Tkinter module. So how are we going to first start? All we need to do is type in from Tkinter import. Ideally what this does is it imports our main Tkinter module, which we will be using for each graphic involved inside of this program. So firstly, how do you actually create a login window without any graphics? So what we're going to need is a username variable, a password variable, and these are the only two variables we are going to need. So we'll set our username to be input, and we'll ask for what is your username with a question mark, just like that. And inside of our password, we're going to do the same, but instead of typing what's your username, we type in what is your password with a question mark, just like that. So now that we have our username and password variables getting declared, all we need to do is get our final result. So our result is going to be equal to username plus password. So ideally this might look confusing at first sight, but when you get to look at it properly, you can see that this username right here is actually a string, because when you input something using the input function, originally it's a string and you need to turn it into an integer for it to actually become an integer. So in this code we have not turned it into an integer, and as you can see we have the plus sign right in between our username and password, meaning this right here is actually a string, and when you add strings together it just becomes one word. So let's say my username is John and my password is 123, meaning result is going to be equal to John 123, exactly the way I typed it, just like this. And one thing to keep in mind is that Python is a very case sensitive programming language. The difference between Python is when you type in John and this John right here, these are seen completely differently inside of Python because of the lower and uppercase J. And that's one thing to keep in mind when working with such programs. So we're going to make an if statement. If result is equal to, let's say the username is John and the password is 123, then the combination will be John 123. So if John 123, then we'll print welcome, just like this. But if not, which we'll use an else statement, we'll print out wrong username or password, just like this. And we can run our code, and in the terminal we'll see our first prompt. We'll just see what is your username, and I'll type in John, just like this, and I'll hit OK. By typing in John, I'll hit OK. Then they'll ask me for my password. I'll type in 123, hit OK, and as you can see in our terminal we get welcome because it's equal to John 123. If you want, you can make a variable for correct password, just like this, and set correct password to be equal to John 123. And right here you can change it from John 123 to correct password, just like this. So it will still do the same function, but this time the actual username and password combination is stored inside of a variable. So if result is equal to correct password, then it will say welcome. But if you have, let's say, a backup account, we can type in else if result is equal to, let's say, something like backup user. Then we'll do something like print welcome to, just like this, and then we type in welcome user 2. So all we need to do is type in the backup password, backup user, and we'll set it to be Carl, just like this, 123. So if result is also equal to backup user, then we'll print welcome user 2. And as easy as that, we've made our login system without any graphics. But what if I actually wanted to use graphics? This is where Tkinter comes in, where I have to type in from Tkinter import, and we'll create our main window and set it equal to tk, and then we'll say main window main loop, just like that, main window dot main loop, and this function creates our main window, and this function runs our window. So for those of you that don't know a lot about Tkinter, I recommend you go see my Tkinter video inside one of my previous tutorials, and I'll leave the video link inside of the description in case you need to revise over Tkinter. So now I'm going to give my window attributes. I'll make main window have a geometry of 600 by 500 pixels, and my main window will have a background color of light blue, just like this, and I'll make my main window non-resizable by typing in .resizable and then typing in false on both parameters, just like this, false and false. And let me just give my main window a title by typing in main window.title, and I'll call this login page, just like that, and I'll add an exclamation mark right there at the end. So ideally what we need is our username and our password, but when we're using Tkinter, we're going to need our username entry, our password entry, and then a button to actually log in. So how we're going to create this is by typing in username entry, which will be equal to entry. And for those of you that don't know, an entry is basically a widget where you can enter your own information, and this entry will be inside of main window. We'll also make the same thing for password entry, just like this, and type in entry, and password will be equal to entry inside of main window, just like that. Then we're going to make our login button, which will be equal to entry2 and inside of main window, just like that. Now we have our username entry, our password entry, and our login button. So what's the function of our login button? We need to create a login function, just like this, and I'll pass it as pass right there, and this is our login function, just like that. Since we don't have code inside of our login function yet, I'll type in pass. So I'll set this button have text equal to log in, and the command will be equal to login function. Now to actually add these widgets, I'll type in the name of the widget, which in this case I'll start with using entry, just like this, and I'll type in .pack. Next is the password entry, and I'll type in .pack and login button .pack, just like that. Then I have added all of these widgets to our main window, and when I run this code, we should see a main function of it actually popping up. And I made a mistake right here. Our login button is not actually an entry. All we have to do is change that to button, just like that, and run our code a second time, and we'll see our window right here, our login page. And as you can see, we have two entry boxes right here. You can type in anything you want, and when you click login, nothing actually happens. So now, how do we actually get this information and put it to actual use? So our login function first needs the data to be retrieved. So what we're going to do is type in username entry, username info, which is the info we get from the username entry, is equal to username, just like this, username entry dot get. So ideally what the .get function is it's a function that gets the information from an entry widget, and we're going to do the same for the password entry. We type in password info, which is the variable where we're going to store our password entry, and type in password entry dot get, just like this, and we have gotten the information, and result will be equal to username info plus password info, just like that, and this is our main result. So if result is equal to John 123, then we'll print out welcome. Just like that, as easy as that. So as you can see, it mostly resembles the same way as the command line interface. And when I run this code, we will see our main window first right here. And inside here, I'll type in John, and right here, I'll type in 123. And when I click login, you can see welcome in our terminal. And when I type something wrong, nothing happens because we did not make an else statement right below our if statement. And I'll type in else, and then I'll say print wrong password, just like that. So what if I wanted the welcome to actually do something to the window? So let's say if result was actually equal to John 123, what would I want to happen? Let's say I wanted to change the window background or something. I wanted to change my main window background, or I wanted to close the window and then open another window, or maybe do something else to the other window, or open another whole program. So since it's equal to John 123, in this example, I'm going to set main window.config. Then I will set the background of this main window to be black. And then I'll type in main window.update, just like this, if the password is correct. And now to run my code to actually test it, I'll type in John right here and 123. And when I click login, as you can see, the background turns fully black because we are welcomed into the program. And that's a basic way of how you can use it. But let's say I wanted to make a new window pop up if the password was correct. So what I'm going to do is say new window to be equal to tk, just like that. And I'll run a main loop for new window and say new window dot main loop, just like that. So if the password is correct, a new window should open up. So I'm going to run the code and I'll type in the login details, John, right here. And right here, I will type 123, log in, and there you can see the new window popping up right here. So I'm going to close these two windows just like that. And in case you need to format your buttons to make them look way better, you can type in something like login button.config, and you can access all the configurations you need. You can make the font be different. You can set the font that will be inside this button to be something like Helvetica New, Arial, or Times New Roman. I'll set mine to be Times New Roman, just like that. Then I'll set the font size to be 15 inside right there, 15, and then I'll make it bold, just like that. So this is how the text inside of my button will look. Then I can make the username entry also be customized. I can type in .config, and then the font. I can also customize the username entry font. I'll make the font of this username entry Arial, which will be the text inside of the entry, and I'll make the text be 15 too, and the text inside will be bold, just like that. And I will copy this over just like this, and then do the same for the password entry 2, just like this, and paste it right over there. Now when we run this code, we should see a difference in the appearance of our main window, just like this. This is the difference. And when I click login, I'll see wrong password right there. And when I type in the actual correct details like John, and then right here I type in 123 and click log in, here's my new window. So I'm going to close those two. And as the assignment of the end of this tutorial, I want you to create your own custom Python script that works with a login system using Tkinter. And in case you get into any mistakes, you can either make a complaint to the main blog. I'll leave the link to the description, and you can leave a comment and I'll go through the comments. And make sure to like and subscribe if you've made it this far into the video. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.